Hello everyone and welcome to a guide to the player side of our Dungeons & Dragons Minecraft server, Fates of the Chosen. In this we'll be going over a few major points, such as what exactly a West March is, some of our rules, and some of our other special custom things that we have in this server, like our renown, experience shop, and crafting options. First off, we'll be discussing what exactly is a West March. There are some major differences between a West March, which is how our server will be ran, and a traditional D&D table. There are many similarities to a normal Dungeons & Dragons table, with the main being that there are event lines, where players are expected to work together to work towards a main purpose. This means that there will be familiar or important NPCs to be interacted with, and a clear beginning and end to the story. Another big part of it is that there is world lore. Lots and lots of world lore. You can see a breakdown of that in our other video. Now, onto the big differences that you are going to notice between our campaign and a traditional Dungeons & Dragons table. For one thing, there are multiple DMs. That means that, while there is one main event line, there are also DM-specific event lines that are going on at the same time, with some sort of connection to the main event line, but ran by their own people. We also have no set time that games will be played. The server will be live at all times, meaning that a lot of the server does rely on roleplay and characters interacting with each other. It also means that you aren't always guaranteed to be involved with events or interactions with certain event lines. How exactly do we use Minecraft? I will say this now, as it's been asked a few times, there will be no plugins or mods that add magic. We use Minecraft to show our map. Think of it as like a 3D version of your traditional D&D map, though the ratio of square to feet is a bit different outside of events and in town due to the size of the world. The map isn't meant to be played like a survival multiplayer world, as it relies much on roleplay, so hasses and resources are handled in their own separate ways. We have many plugins that help bring the server to life, including but not limited to dice rolling, distant checkers, custom crafting, and character information cards. Using plugins, we have also been able to add quests to the world that you can access on your own without having to have staff running something. Many of these quests rely on you finding an area or figuring out certain information, so don't be afraid to treat them as an in-character and discuss what the answer may be with other characters. Of course, with things like this, there must always be some sort of rules that are expected to be followed. First and foremost, our server doesn't allow anyone under the age of 18 to play on it, even if you decide to follow us along with things on our socials. Despite this, we do expect content on the roleplay and out-of-character side of things to stay in a 16+ rating. We expect a mature behavior here, meaning any sort of disruptive behavior like griefing, trolling, advertising for other servers will not be allowed. For characters, we do allow you to have 2 at a time, but you have to have 2 separate Minecraft accounts, for various plugin and server reasons, though they can never interact with each other. Focusing more on the in-character side of things, you're expected to keep in-character and out-of-character issues separate. If you have a problem with what a character is doing, do not take it out on the player, and vice versa. No sexual roleplay should be taking place on our Minecraft server or Discord, and any more graphic roleplay should be fade to black. While on our server, you are expected to wear appropriate Minecraft skins, avoid making joke or copy characters, and keep your characters physically and mentally an adult. A lot goes into making a server like this, so here are some ways that you can help with contributing to it. First up, we've got our yearly donations. You are able to donate throughout the year to help with monetary funding of the server, as there are many elements of it that cost quite a bit to keep running, with different rewards being unlocked for the server based on how much is donated each year. These rewards range from simpler things like new dungeons and extra experience, to all new content and major world events. Each year, one of the tiers can change depending on what will be the best to add to the server that year, so it's always a surprise. If you can't donate monetarily, playing will always help us, but for there to be players, there has to be volunteers to help keep things running. For those that are more frontlining for their tasks, we have Dungeon Masters and Scribes. Dungeon Masters are the ones who help with approving your characters, running event lines, and even helping those who are going through dungeons. Scribes are the ones who will make the world really feel like it's a living world, keeping the environment and its people alive while also helping with any questions about the world's lore. As for those that don't interact with as directly with players typically, we have Role Masters, Architects, and Heralds. Rule Masters are essentially the moderators for the world, both server-side and Discord-wise. They are the ones that you can always go to with any concerns or worries about players and behavior. Architects are the ones responsible for all the amazing builds that you'll see around the server, and at times may even be able to be hired by players to construct things for them. Heralds are our social media team, so the ones that help with creating videos like this and our other media posts. Let's talk about another major thing that will impact you during gameplay, our homebrew rules. Character starting levels will grow as the server continues on to avoid major level gaps and to allow for easier balancing. We do allow for characters to be reworked a certain amount of times in their life to help show how a character changes from the events that they go through. With builds, we do cap multiclassing at 3 classes, just for balancing's sake again, as well as us allowing Bloodhunters to use Intelligence or Wisdom for their multiclassing. Time passage in characters is typically 2 days in character for 1 day out of character, with it instead becoming 4 days in character for each 1 out of character day when considering pregnancy, jail time, and long repeating spell casting. We allow for healing potions to be used as an action for full healing or bonus action for rolled healing, and also require you to be proficient in a skill check you are helping with. Death and exhaustion is a bit different than standard table rules for us as well. If you fall to 0 HP and fail a death save, you will automatically gain a level of exhaustion. And you will also get growing negative impacts on your characters the more that they are revived. On the subject of revivals, most revivals can't be bypassed by things like Wish, Divine Intervention, and subclass abilities. We do allow for NPCs to get a single death saving throw though, so you don't have to worry so much about trying not to kill them. We've had to adapt how summons and similar abilities work on this server, such as limiting how many you can have, their attunement slots, their CR rating, and allowing DMs to choose if they want them allowed in their events or not. We use 2024 weapon masteries for all weapons. If you're proficient in the weapon, you are automatically using the benefit of it. Divine Intervention and Wish are limited outside of events, and spellcasting components have been tweaked to better fit the server's settings. One of the biggest magic item changes is that sending stones can connect to multiple other stones, not fully unlike how a phone would work in modern day. Combat-wise, some DMs may allow for called shots to be taken, though they would be taken at disadvantage. All potions can be consumed as a bonus action, though as mentioned before, healing potions have their own special ruling. Everyone gets 1 use of event inspiration per event, allowing you to re-roll a d20 after you roll, but before knowing the result. Pre-buffs have their own specific rule sets as well, to avoid people using friends and spells to overly buff themselves. During combat, you must have some sort of written details about what your character is doing to avoid confusion. On the Minecraft side of things, outside of town, and when not in combat or roleplay, each block counts as 50 feet, but otherwise, each one is 5 feet, like a standard Dungeons & Dragons map. Because of how odd building can be in Minecraft, the first 10 feet of fall damage, so 2 blocks worth, doesn't count. When you're consuming something, don't actually consume it in-game, you must give it to staff. Let's talk about what books and content that we do allow. Do keep in mind that we use 2014 rules, not 2024. We allow 17 different source books, though keep in mind for Acquisitions Incorporated, we only allow the Verdant race. And for character races, if they have a version in the Monsters of the Multiverse, you must use that version of it. There are some limitations of what can be used from the books for the sake of server balance. Backgrounds that give extra feats or spells aren't allowed, nor are Unearthed Arcana content, campaign-specific races, or futuristic weapons, including guns. While you can't start with the dragon-marked feats or sub-races, there may be ways to earn them through the character's life. There are multiple items and player-controlled creatures that are banned, as are Magic Jar, Astral Plane, Dream of the Blue Veil, and Gate spells. Planar Shift is a one-way, meaning if you choose to have your character use it, you lose your character. Banishment and True Polymorph, on the other hand, can't be permanent. Dunamancy spells are a bit special, as they can only be learned by their respective wizard subclasses and bards, though they may be copied in spellbooks or learned through feats. For anyone who ever feels like they are leveling up too fast, or wants the chance to possibly have their character learn something they wouldn't be able to otherwise, our Experience Shop may be able to help you. Our experience shop allows you to spend your current experience, though you can't go down any levels by spending them. Purchases are reduced a certain amount based on character modifiers, as will be shown in a moment. You may choose to find a mentor, or even have your character mentor another player, which gives a better in-character explanation of the experience shop and what is learned. A mentor may help share the cost of experience being spent, though, as with normal purchases, they can't de-level with this. Here are the options of what you can buy in the experience shop, as well as the modifiers that may change the cost of purchasing them. We have a variety of proficiencies such as languages, skills, weapons, tools, and even learning to use the shield, though you must be able to use light armor at minimum for that last one. There are also a couple of options that can't be reduced in any way, such as spell scrolls, with the restriction of you being able to read the scroll, and work tokens. We have our renown system to make sure that the world actually does seem to really remember what characters do. Who would want a great feat just to be forgotten by all the NPCs? There are 3 levels of renown: Guild, Kingdom, and World. Renown can be good or bad, depending on how one behaves with each category. One's renown within the guild is most likely to change quests and opportunities that a character may have, as some guilds may only offer quests to people who have a certain amount of renown with them. Guilds may also offer characters a position within their ranks. Kingdoms are similar, though are much more varying on what can raise or lower renown based on the place and what exactly is done. World renown is the most impactful, as it changes how everyone views your character, and thus is the hardest to change. Now, we come to our final category of the video, that being our crafting system. As traditional Dungeons & Dragons progresses a bit different than our server, we have our own way that crafting will work. For getting the materials that you need to craft adventuring gear, you only get so many work tokens that you can use each week. Each work token can be exchanged with NPCs and some Minecraft items to get the items that you need for our custom crafts, initially at a 1-to-1 ratio, but there is ways to unlock getting better deals. For those who don't want to craft, you can sell your tokens to other players, or even an NPC for a much lower cost. We really want to encourage working together with crafting and selling gear, so this is a perfect chance for your characters to work together, such as one focusing on gathering metal, another on leather, and so on. We have finally come to the end. Thank you so much for sticking around this long. We look forward to seeing you join us on our server. See the website, our other videos, and the Discord for more detailed information about what I went over in this video.